Hi again, everyone. So now we're on to another great classic song. Everybody loves learning this one. Is "Stand By Me," Benny King, and of course John Lennon made it really famous as well. Though John Lennon's is in a different key, it's an A, I think. Or maybe the original's an A. I'm not sure, but we're doing the easy version in G. You could, if you have a capo, if you know what a capo is. I'll just explain what a capo is. A capo is actually one of these things here, and what it does is it clamps on the neck like that and hold your strings in tight, and then you can play your chords further up the neck. But can be a wee bit confusing to get used to, because you get used to playing your chords, and you probably will have so far. You've been playing them down low. So Stand By Me consists of 4 chords. G. So we'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have a look. Sorry, I'll just share the screen and show you the chord chart as always, and we'll break it up. Okay, so here's your chords. Right, so we've got, again, 4-finger G on it, the D chord, E minor. Well, both E minors are on the sheet, but I'd prefer if you could use E minor 2 again, and your mini C, or half C we could call it. Again, you can still play this song with stripped back chords, which I'll be doing in the next video. In fact, we'll maybe do that now. In the next video we'll do a full run through. I'll just show you with the stripped back chords. But I want to talk about the rhythm. Now this is different. Okay, what makes this so different? Well, it's because there's 2 ups. And very often I see people making mistakes with double ups, and I totally understand why. It's quite strange to get used to, that you're coming up 2 times in a row. Now, to explain the beats in this, I put this in italics on purpose because this is the beat that's counted but not played, which is why we've got a white space down here. Now, I didn't put on what it looks like in rhythm notation because it can be quite confusing. But what you're basically doing is letting the first up strum ring across beat 3, and then you come in on the and of beat 3. So now we're getting into quavers, right? So if we were to count that as it is without worrying about missing out the 3, you would have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Right? So that would sound like that. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that would be down, down, up, down, up, down, up. But what we're going to do is leave out that third down. So I'll just demonstrate this to see the difference in the sound. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up. Now, a good way I like to teach all my students to do this one is down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. Put a miss in, and then you know not to hit it on the count of the third beat. 1, 2, and miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, up, miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, up, miss, up, down, up. Another tip is to tap your foot, and the fact that you're physically doing something other than actually counting. You're physically doing an emotion, and you think down, down, up, tap, up, down, up. So you could have down, down, up, tap, up, down, up. What I would suggest when you get into the more tricky rhythms, because this is quite tricky, is split it into 2 halves. Down, down, up. Get used to that, and then get used to up, down, up. And slowly bring it together like a jigsaw. Just piece it together. So you've got down, down, up. And then you get used to going, okay, up, down, up. Now, I pretty much guarantee the up, down, up will knock you out a wee bit. But what we're trying to do is, we talked about earlier, keep the arm moving. Keep the arm moving no matter what. Don't go. You don't want that. Which is what I see all the time. That's basically 90% of the time because people aren't actually counting. If you count and you have the actions as you're counting at the right time, you can't go wrong. But this isn't that easy to do, so it's quite tricky. So you could either put the count to 3 as a miss, or tap your foot. I wouldn't go to tap the guitar because that's going to make it harder. Unless you can get your finger in close to the strings and keep the pick ready to go for the up. Right? I would also say too that Stand By Me is slightly upbeat. Don't worry about that when you're learning this rhythm. The run through with this song is it's always the same, just like Knocking on Heaven's Door. It's the same the whole way through. It's just how you actually sing changes it. You can add things in later, but we're only going to be doing the bare basics of it. So you've got 2 sets of G. Again, that doesn't have to be G4. You could have an easy G, G3, or yeah, G4, G3, or an easy G. All right, and then we've got E minor. I would suggest E minor 2, this one, second and third finger again, and then 1 bar of C, 1 bar of D. Again, half C could play that, and on your D, the D sus4. So I'll slowly run through it. I'm going to put the metronome on so you can hear how this. I'll just change the beat. Sorry. 2 seconds, and then we change the rhythm. So what I'm doing is putting this as crotchets, right? So these are, I'm putting this on the crotchets, and we'll speed it up slightly. Okay, so it's slightly more upbeat song, so I'm going to put it up to a bit faster. So we're going to have 2 sets of G, each bar from here to here is a bar. All right, so we're going to have miss, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 miss, up, down, up. Okay, so you can see what's happening slightly slower without the metronome. Down, down, up, miss, up, down, up, down, down, up, miss, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, miss, up, down, up, down, 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 up, miss, up, down. Right, so you can see there then that it's quite tricky. And you might find some problems with the ups when you're working on this one. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you in the next video, just play a few verses. So you have the rhythm going in this one, and then the singing comes in. Perfect there that we did earlier. In the course, it seems a bit different where you sing first and then come in. So songs are completely different, and this is where the confusion comes in. But as long as the lyrics and the chords are synced in the right place, should be okay. So I'm going to do a run through of a few verses in the next video to give you a feel for the song, and then you just slowly work on your changes. Remember I was saying keep that right arm constantly moving. Don't let it slip back. Even if you're not grabbing your chords in time, we could also do an easy version of it with easy G, down, down, up, down, up. If you really want easy E minor, do a mini C, 1 finger, still music, down, down, up, easy D, missing the 2nd finger, slightly different there because of the E string open, but it still sounds like the song. If you have to strip it back to those more basic chords, no problem. Always remember to keep practicing your rhythm, no matter what chord shape you're on. Okay. I appreciate you letting me share the screen now to show you that. So the next video then we're going to get a run through of a couple of verses of Stand By Me, and I'll see you in the next video. Look forward to that. Okay, bye. Hi everyone. So here we are. We're going to run through a bit of Stand By Me. As I said in the last video, in the explanation video, everything in this song repeats. Same structure, 2 sets of G, 2 E minors, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of D. So I would say again, remember the arm movements. Remember that the arm is out for G, in slightly for E minor, in for C, whether that's a mini C, half C, full C, or your D. Out, in, C, D. Right, so well, I'm not going to share the screen on this one because it's the same structure the whole way through. So do have your sheet there with you. If you haven't, load it up on another device, maybe on your phone or on a tablet, maybe, you know, minimize this video and have it a PDF on the screen, whatever way you're working on it. I'm going to talk you through it here anyway. So again, it's another song where the chords need to be in the right spot on the lyrics. Very, very important. So I hope you don't get confused with this rhythm, because it is quite a tricky, harder rhythm to play, as long as you keep it nice and steady. So it comes in with when the night. So again, the rhythm is down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. E minor, down, down, up, down. One more time, down, down, up, down, up. Notice I'm using E minor too. Then your C chord, down, down, up, down, up. And on your D, down, down, up, down, up. And out to your G. Right, so we have a G. So maybe I will just bring the lyrics up. I think I will here, just 2 seconds, because I'd rather have the lyrics as you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you can see there's an intro at the start, and then when you get into the verses, when the night, so it's when the night is come. Guys, so I'm just noticing that the chords are slightly out of sync. Don't worry, I will fix that up on the PDF that's going to be on the course. Apologies for that, I'm just noticing that now. These things happen, so don't worry, I have these perfectly lined up in your version. E minor, and then, so this is a good example. This is perfect because I didn't intend to do this, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. Have a look at the line and the moon. You see where the C chord is? It's in a completely wrong place. The C should be above the word moon, and the moon is the only, should be the D chord. So look how far back the D chord is on only, and that's probably because this was, the font was changed. This is what can happen. You can get stuff off the internet and paste it into something else onto your phone, and it goes out of sync, and the next thing it's all a mess. So apologies again for this, but I'm going to fix this up so it is in sync. So if you were starting to run through that the way I was there, that would have knocked you completely out. But we're all human and we all make mistakes. So it's... anyway, ignoring that, I'm going to run through it without that so it doesn't confuse you anymore. I'm going to take screen share off for a second. So it would normally be when the night is come, when, and the land is dark and the land is... See the way the chords must, this is so important, be in sync with the lyrics. If they're not, it's all a bit of a mess and you will get confused. So even down the line, if you're working on my course and you happen to be looking up on the internet and you find a tune, send me a message, and if you've any queries about it. I mean, I can't guarantee I'll have time to go through the whole song, but I'll try and help you out if I can. I don't like to see anybody stuck. Quick recap then, just to go over that again. Down, down, up. If you want to bring the foot tapping idea in, then we can go down, down, up, tap, up, down, up, 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 down, down, up, tap, tapping idea is really good when you get used to it. It just gives your brain something else to do other than strums to get the strings, and keeps you in line with what you're trying to do here, which the objective here is to not strum beat 3. You're trying to miss beat 3, that's the whole thing. Okay, so I didn't go through the whole song there because it just repeats. As I say, again, apologies about that PDF there. That won't be the one that you will be getting. You'll be getting the one that's in sync. It's just an old one of mine that must have got mixed up with the files in the folder. So I hope you've really enjoyed the songs. I use Stand By Me as the last tune because of the double up. You know, I can't get too deep into it. I don't want to put too much in a beginner's course. You'll end up with a wee bit of overwhelm. I want you to feel confident that you have covered what I feel are, from my experience in the years of teaching, the important rhythms that I see come up all the time. And then in our next module, we're going to get into some fingerstyle. So we're getting into towards the back end of the course now, but I hope by this stage you'll have learned quite a lot, and you're not struggling, and you're getting there with it all. And as I say, with all the songs, practice is spend some time away from the song working on your tricky chord changes. If you're having trouble with certain chord changes, send me a message and I'll try and help out. Maybe finger position, muted notes, all these things that come up. And then go back to your tune and say, right, now I'm going to try and put it, because trying to put the chords with the lyrics is the hard bit. You want to just think of it as arm is constantly moving, whatever the rhythm should be, and just keep it going that way.